Welcome back to another Pokemon Flying Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover in big Pokemon news that cards are set to get revealed. And we do have to do the question of the day: what Pokemon would you rather get rid of, Bellsprout or Oddish? And that means all their evolutions also. And this Sunday, May 17th, 1 p.m. Pacific time, we are hosting a poker tournament with the World Poker Tour on Club WPT Gold. It's just a $5 donation to enter, and all the money goes directly to Avery so he can keep making his amazing content. If you guys do not know who he is, he does have cancer, and he's one of the best kids I've ever met. Definitely check out his channel. But you guys can win some crazy cards. I will be playing also. If you beat me, you win one of these. We got a Cynthia's Garchomp and a Destin Rivals Mewtwo, both in PSA 10s. And there's a ton of other cards you could win and a ton of other creators playing. So definitely check that out. I'll have all the links in the description. I hope to see you there. And we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Collectr. This app is the best of the best when it comes to tracking your collection. The website also works great. They're always trying to improve too by adding new cards, boxes, and features. So let us know down below if there's anything you want them to add or fix, and they'll get working on that immediately. They also do more giveaways than anyone in this entire hobby. So if you guys are not following them on all their socials, I would be doing that immediately. I'll have all the links in the description for everything. So definitely check them out. Then, of course, you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD25 to get $25 off. And if you guys want to try out Tag for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD10, get 10% off your first submission. All right, let's get into it. We are starting off with the Prismatic Evolutions Booster Bundle. This got up to $97. Now last sold $76, $85, $83, and $80. And we have the Prismatic Evolutions Regular ETB. It's got up to $211, dropped down to $166, went right back up to $182. And now last sold $164, $149, $166, and $159. Next, we even have the Pokemon Center Prismatic Evolutions ETB. Was at $587, dropped down to $540, went right back up to $591, and now last sold $496, $435, $497, $502. Then it goes to $559, $530, $529. Let's see what we can get this one shipped for. So from a pretty new seller, but still 100%, $511 with shipping included. So not too bad. And we got another guy here at $515. So definitely going down in price a little bit. Next, we even have the Prismatic Evolutions SPC. This got up to $389, dropped down to $322 in March, went right back up to $360 in April, then dropped down to $305, went back up to $320, and now last sold, we got a couple at $250, which is pretty low. Otherwise, besides that, we got $304, $295, $290, $275. Let's see what we can get this one shipped for. $304 from a legit seller, so about $90 off its high. Next, we have the Destin Rivals Regular ETB. Got up to $294, dropped down to $200 or $197, went back up to $215. Now last sold $199, $204, $197, $200. Next, we have the regular Perfect Order ETB. It's got down to $66, then it started to go back up in price and hit like $73. But now last sold is all $70 or less. We got a bunch at $69 and $65. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X UPC. This got up to $248. Now last sold, we got a bunch at $230 to about $239. And we have the Celebrations Regular ETB. It's got up to $423. Now last sold $359. Couple low ones at $250, which is just too low. But the rest is $375, $390, $356. And we have Chaos Rising. We got a Pokemon Center ETB sale at $210. Booster box at $204, $222. Then it shows here a Pokemon Center ETB at $146. And we got a regular ETB at $121. Pokemon Center ETB at $210. Couple more booster boxes at $225. Looks like we got one Pokemon Center ETB, one booster box, and one booster bundle, pre-sale $399. And booster bundle here right at $55. Two Pokemon Center ETB sold for $450. So yeah, we are about to get this set. A lot of people already have this set. And we're going to be checking a ton of those cards today at the end of the video. But all right, let's get to some cards. So this is the Perfect Order Staff card. This is the only one that's going down in price. The Doublade was at $32. Now last sold $23, $21, $22, but all the other ones are going up in price, just like every other card and staff card. Next, we have the Mimikyu from Paldean Fates, just dropping in price a little bit. This is the only baby shiny I could find that's dropping in price. Was at $67. Now last sold $57, $67, $45, $45, $46, $57, $58. Next, we have some of the mega attack rares. We got the Electros here. This was at $11. Now last sold $5.75, $6.97, and $4.94. And we have the Mega Halucha. This card is actually pretty sick. When you really look at it, it pops in person. This was at $12.70. Now last sold $7, $8, and a couple even at $10. It's starting to go up in price a little bit. And the Mega Frostless. This got up to almost $20. Now last sold $17, $16. So this one's just starting to drop again. Next, we have the Pikachu from Crown Zenith. This is the secret rare. One of the coolest cards ever. No one ever talks about this thing. Got up to about 57. Now last sold 58, 50, 51, 49, 64, 52. I'm honestly shocked it's going down in price at all. Let's see what we can get this one shipped for from a legit seller, actually. And I just got a brand new laptop, so we're going to have some crazy market Mondays soon. Looks like we can get it from a decent seller at $51. Next, we have the Alakazam EX. This got up to $92. Now last sold $79, $82, $75, $76. So finally getting sales in the 70s again for him. And we have the Marnie's Grimmsnarl. This is at $126. Got down to $92, went back up to about $100. Now last sold, we got one at $97, but the rest is at $80, $76, $77, $75, $81. Next, we have the Enzorok from Ascended Heroes. People were saying this is going to be a $300-$400 card, but it stalled right about $200, and now last sold $175, $170, $174, $173, $186. The card is sick. The detail is insane when you really, really look at it. Next, we have the EVEX from Prismatic Evolutions. This completely stalled right at $200 also. Now last sold $181, $180, $182, $169, $160. Next, we have the Team Rockets Mewtwo. As you guys can see, there is no illustration rares in today's video. I couldn't really find one illustration rare that was going down in price. It's actually insane. But we have the Team Rockets Mewtwo from Ascended Heroes. Was at $505. Now last sold, we got a couple low ones here at $430. Then we got one at $480, $450, and whoa, one really low one at $404. Then we got $445, $475. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X SIR. This got up to about $900. We're still having some fake sales and some sales that are not for the actual English one. That's why I just put it on the list. It's not really going down in price, but some of these sales are making it look like it's going down. Because we got one here at $420, $489, and any other low ones. But we do have a bunch, in 800s. We even got one at $792. Most of them, though, are above $800. Next, we have the Mega Dragonite X SIR. Got up to $855. Now last sold $787, $788. And then we got a high one at $934 and $999 with a picture. We got quite a few in the high 700s. And let's see if that's from a legit seller. Not too bad. Yeah, 99.6%. $799, shipping included. So it dropped in price a little bit. And we have the Pikachu from Ascended. Also has a couple weird sales. We got a couple here at $248. But the rest, $1,250, $1,115, $1,125, $1,200, $1,100. We got a lightly played at $881. Looks like the lowest near mint is $1,090 for this card. Very, very expensive. It does pop in person. It's beautiful. Next, we have the Mega Gengar EX from Ascended. The high was $1,490. Then we got one low one at $990, which doesn't really make sense. And then a couple at $1,400, $1,300, $1,475, $1,399. Still a $1,400 card, which is just crazy. And we also have the Gold Mega Lucario with a bunch of weird sales also. This is at $271, but now last sold $175. $175, $160, $180, bunch at $150, but the rest of the sales are at $285, $245, $250, $248. So the $250 sales seem legit, but as you can see right here, 0% one sales, no sales at $175 and $190, and we can get it shipped for $275. So it's not really going down in price, but when you look at the graph, it looks like it is, and I've already seen people make videos saying this car is dropping, because they just look at the graph and they don't actually look at the sales. Next, we have the Gold Mega Charizard X. It's got up to $380. Now last sold $329, $310, $363, $350, $349. So that one obviously is actually going down in price because it's not dropping hundreds of dollars or $100 in 2 days. Next, We have the secret rare Gyarados EX from Breakpoint, one of the greatest cards ever created. Got up to $243 and now last sold $182. We got a couple crazy low ones here in the 40s, but the rest of them are all right around $180, so definitely dropping in price. Such a sick card. Right, next we're on 130 point, checking out the Chaos Rising illustration rare sales. So remember, these are always going to be really high sales compared to when the set actually comes out, just because the set isn't fully out yet, and people are trying to get these cards to grade PSA 10 so they can have their first ones on the market. But we have the Ampharos here at $51, Claydol at $15, Froakie $43, another one at $44 and $37. We got one at $21, and the Xerneas at $49, Crobat at $18, another Ampharos here at $37. We got the Frogadier at $35. The Tauros, this card is also sick. The Tauros and Ampharos are my two favorite in the set. Tauros was $20. Ampharos was $32, $34. Crobat $17. It's a super small set, but honestly, pretty good selection of Pokemon, in my opinion. We got the Chinchino, full art at $20. I think that one's pretty playable. And the Chespin, $19. The only one I've seen. Here's another one at $27. That looks like that is about it. We got a crazy Crobat sale at $90. It says PSA 10 potential. People will pay that, no problem. All right, next we have the SIRs. We have the Mega Greninja SIR at $540 with one bid. We got the Chinchino at $113. We got the whole lineup of Chinchino at $140. Mega Gardevoir $540, $799, $560, $625. Roxy's Performance sold for $60. And Morgan Ninja $650, $695, $600. Got the Mega Dragalge and the Mega Floette at $110. So everything else is very affordable besides the Greninja, of course, with sales all over at $500, $600. And here is the Gold Greninja. We got sales at $520, $600, $500, $595, $437. Looks like it's the lowest one that I'm seeing. We got a couple even at $700. Crazy. And we're going to end off on some PSA 10 cards. We have the Zapdos EX from 151. This got up to $585. Now last sold $500, $484, $485, $480. There's a ton of these graded, but at least these are actually somewhat difficult to grade. There's 13,000 10s, 22,000 9s. One of the few sets in the Scarlet and Violet era where the SIRs are actually, pretty difficult to grade. Surging Sparks also has some pretty difficult to grade SIRs. Next, we have the Venusaur EX, got up to $675. Now last sold $500 and $584, $470, $465. So that is quite the drop on that one. This one has a pop of $15,600 in a 10 and $26,000 in a 9. And we have the Blastoise, got up to $850. Now last sold $660, $699, and $670 with a pop of about $18,000 in a 10, $29,000 in a 9. And last on the list, we have the Charizard with some weird sales. This did get up to almost $2,000. And now last sold, it's showing $1,000, $1,900, $500, $900. But most of the new sales now are right around $1,700, like we got one here. Another one here at $1,675 and $1,875. So that's a little bit more accurate. This card has a pop of $27,000 in a 10 and $46,000 in a 9. Even $17,008, which is just crazy. But all right, that was this week's Pokemon Flying Friday. If you guys like this content and want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to check out my newest vending video, I'd really appreciate that. And I even have a whole playlist full of all my other vending videos. So if you guys could watch that, it would really mean a ton. All right, we'll see you next time.